Hello, everyone. This week we are going to focus on consumer behavior, how people make buying decisions. Two major objectives that we'll focus on are describe the personal and psychological factors that may influence what consumers buy and when they buy it, explain what marketing professionals can do to influence consumer behavior, explain how looking at lifestyle information helps firms understand what consumers want to purchase, explain how Maslow's hierarchy of needs works. Explain how culture, subcultures, social classes, families, and reference groups affect consumers' buying behavior. Distinguish between low involvement and high involvement buying decisions. Understand what the stages of the buying process are and what happens in each stage. Marketers need to find the answers to the following three questions. Why do you buy the things you buy? How did you decide on what you bought? And where and when do you like to shop? Consumer behavior considers the many reasons personal, situational, psychological, and social why people shop for products, buy and use them, sometimes becoming loyal customers, and then dispose of them. Marketing professionals are responsible for getting those answers, and they do that by doing a lot of consumer behavioral research and studying the results of that research. Data is collected in many ways through web visits. You know that cookies can track web visits of customers, blogs, social networks, psychological factors, surveys, and personal factors. Going forward, we are going to examine the different consumer situational factors. These are store location, physical factors, crowding, social situation, time, reason for purchase, and mood. Situational factors. Let's take, for example, the atmospherics. The atmospherics are physical factors that firms have control over and manipulate in order to try to influence consumer purchasing decisions. Examples are a layer of grocery stores with bread and milk at opposite sides, so people will have to walk around the entire store. Location of Starbucks with a store every few miles in some areas and products available in grocery and convenience stores. Strategic fragrances that keeps customers in the store longer. Mirrors at elevators because when people are busy looking at themselves, they do not feel like they're waiting as long. Some physical factors cannot be controlled by the firm, such as weather overcrowding. In those situations, firms try to minimize the factors by giving discounts or other incentives. Social situation. Consumers feel social pressure to make certain purchases, and companies use those social pressures to sell their products. Examples include buying Girl Scout cookies from your neighbor's child, purchasing Avon or Tupperware products while attending a friend's party, eating at a sit down restaurant while on a date rather than at a fast food restaurant. Another factor we are going to examine is time. The time of the day, the time of the year, and how much time consumers feel like they have to shop also affects what they buy. Researchers have even discovered whether someone is a morning person or evening person affects shopping patterns. Time-starved consumers expect and appreciate convenience. Companies worldwide are finding ways to accommodate them. Shoppers at 7-Eleven stores in Japan can pay their utility bills, local taxes, insurance, pension premiums, and even make photocopies. Some doctors provide drive-through shots for patients who are in a hurry, or for elderly patients who have trouble getting in and out of their automobiles. Amazon offers an on-demand customer service with just a click of a button. Another factor that we are going to look at is the reason for the purchase. The purpose consumers are shopping for also affects the amount of time spent shopping. Consumers make emergency purchases usually based on sheer necessity, whereas other purchases such as gifts and everyday products are made based on convenience. Another factor we are examining is mood. Consumers' moods temporarily affect their spending patterns. Fears of the economic downturn in 2008 led to decrease in consumer spending. Companies try to get shoppers in the mood to spend by introducing sales, new lines of products, loyalty programs, etc., etc. Going forward, we are going to examine personal factors. Personal factors incorporate personality and self-concept. Personality describes a person's disposition as other people see it. Marketers study 5 personality traits in an effort to link the traits to buying behavior. Openness, how open you are to new experiences. Conscientiousness, how diligent you are. Extroversion, how outgoing or shy you are. Agreeableness, how easy you are to get along with. And neuroticism, how prone you are to negative mental states. The link between people's personalities and their buying behavior is somewhat unclear, but market researchers continue to study it. Marketers have had better luck linking people's self-concept to other buying behavior than their personalities. Self-concept is how you see yourself, be it positive or negative. Ideal self is how you would like to see yourself. Marketers believe people buy products to enhance how they feel about themselves, to get themselves closer to their ideal selves. We're also going to examine the factors gender, age, and stage of life. Men and women shop differently. Men prefer sites with lots of pictures and products, and men and women prefer the product shown in a lifestyle context while being used. Men have a different attitude toward shopping and want to get the products and just get out usually. Women tend to want to browse and shop until they drop. Women influence fully two-thirds of household product purchases. Men buy three-quarters of all alcoholic beverages. Shopping patterns are evolving, however. Younger, well-educated men are less likely to believe grocery shopping is a woman's job. New brands targeting men include face toners, body washes, and hair salons. Companies understand that people buy different things based on their ages and life stages. Companies seek to create products that fit with their customers' age and stage of life. For example, Ford has created aging suits for young employees to wear when they're designing automobiles. It mimics the restricted mobility and vision people experience as they grow older. Lisa Roots Sandel, founder of Not Your Daughter's Jeans, created jeans for baby boomers with womanly bodies. Chronological age is usually age in years. Cognitive age is how old you feel or how old you perceive yourself. Marketers have found they must market their products based on cognitive age rather than physiological age. Going forward, we are going to examine consumer lifestyles as a factor in consumer decision making. So, consumers' lifestyles vary drastically. Psychographics combines a lifestyle traits of consumers and their personality styles with their attitudes, activities, and values. We're also going to examine motivation. Motivation, that is the inward drive we have to get what we need. Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs outlines levels of needs that people experience. Lower level needs such as food, water, and sleep have to be fulfilled before higher level needs such as social esteem and self-actualization. Knowing what needs consumers are trying to meet at any given time help companies successfully market their products. We're also going to examine perception as a factor. Perception actually focuses on how people interpret the world around them based on the 5 senses: taste, sight, smell, touch, and hearing. Using different types of stimuli, marketing professionals try to make you more perceptive of their products, whether you need them or not. Average consumer is exposed to about 3,000 advertisements a day. Selective perception is the process of filtering out information based on how relevant it is to you. Selective retention is forgetting information that contradicts a person's beliefs. Shock advertising has proven to be sometimes effective. Subliminal advertising's effectiveness is somewhat more questionable. Exposure does not always translate into retention. Learning is the process by which consumers change their behavior after they gain information or experience. Operant learning conditioning is a type of behavior that's repeated when it's rewarded. Classical conditioning is a learning process where consumers associated a response with a condition that was previously not associated with a response. Attitudes, these are mental positions or emotional feelings, favorable, unfavorable evaluations, and action tendencies people have about products, services, companies, ideas, issues, and institutions. The societal factors are culture, subculture, social class, reference groups and opinions leaders, and family. Cultures, these are shared beliefs, customs, behaviors, and attitudes. Cultures that share the same values may not be considered in purchasing behavior across national borders. Social class is a group of people who have the same social, economic, or educational status in society. Reference groups and opinion leaders are other factors that we need to consider. Reference groups are groups where a consumer identifies with and may also want to join. These are usually movie idols and professional athletes. Opinion leaders are people with expertise in certain areas. They're trusted publicly and they're known figures. Family also influences buying behavior. It's most common that children will follow their parents' behavior, and sometimes they can influence household purchases by nagging their parents to buy them certain products. Let's look at low involvement versus high involvement buying decisions. Low involvement decisions, usually routine purchases in expensive products, low risk products, whereas high involvement decisions are high risk and high price. They involve extended problem solving, and usually there's a post purchase dissonance. There are several stages in the consumer purchasing process. There has to be a need recognition. Someone needs to realize that they need a product before starting to search for product information. Then step number two is searching for product information that can be done online or offline and comparing the product with products of other competitors. So step number three is for the consumer to evaluate the product, then to actually select the product and make a purchase, and then to use the product and evaluate the product, whether a consumer is happy with the product or not happy with the product. So, in case a consumer is not happy with the product, they may experience post purchase dissonance. And then the last step is disposing of the product. Consumer's level of involvement is how interested he or she is in buying and consuming the product. Low involvement products are usually inexpensive and pose the risk to the buyer if he or she makes a mistake by purchasing them. High involvement products carry a high risk to the buyer if they fail, are complex, or have high price tags. Limited involvement products fall somewhere in between. With this, we conclude our lecture on consumer buying behavior. I think it's very easy for all of you to associate with the material from this lecture because on a daily basis, you actually have to make consumer purchase decisions. I hope you enjoyed the lecture and I wish you luck in the rest of the class.